Dear students, let's look into how you will find the area and volume of some 3D shapes. The 3D shapes that we have learned were a rectangular prism, then a cylinder, cone. These were the 3D shapes that we have learned. Another shape would be a sphere. One thing that you need to know as a 10th grader would be to identify the real life objects and the shapes that they have. For example, if I think about a soda can, what does it look like? You should know that it looks like a cylinder. An ice cream cone or a birthday cap, it looks like a cone, correct? So you should be able to identify or model the 3D objects that you see around yourself and to name them accordingly. A football looks like a sphere. Now let's see what are the formulas to find the area of these shapes. Let's concentrate more on what we have for the test today. A cylinder will have an area of 2 pi r into r plus h. This would be the formula for the total area of a cylinder. Now this is how a cylinder looks. You think about a soda can, okay? So you have two circles, one on the top and the bottom. The full line, if you draw from the top side, is like a circle, okay? The full line through the center will be called the diameter. Half of it is called the radius, small r. So this will be called the small r, the radius. So that's what you substitute here. If it's given as 5, what will you substitute? 2 into 3.14 into 5 into 5 plus. Now the height of the cylinder is always vertical height, the one that stands straight. So if it's given as 10, you put 10 over here. You find the answer. Check what is the unit given here. Suppose it's all 5 meter, 10 meter, then the answer will be in meter square. And to find the volume, the formula is pi r square h. Again, what do? You substitute 3.14 into 5 square into the height is 10. The answer will be in meter cube. Put this in the calculator, you get the answer. So this is what you need to know about a cylinder. And to find the volume or the area of a cone, again, think about an ice cream cone. You know that on the top you have a circle. So this again will have a radius. Radius, what do you mean by the radius? It's simply the length, okay? So it's a value that is in meter or in centimeter. It's the length from the center of the circle till the circumference. So circumference is the boundary, the outside of the circle. So this is called the circumference. Now this is the radius r. You have a new term here. For a cone, you have something slanting, right? It's not straight. This will be called as the slant height, which is small l. And this vertical height will be called as h. Now, what is the formula for area? Pi r into r plus l. And we substitute 3.14. You put it in the calculator. R is given as 5 centimeter. You substitute 5 into 5 because you have r 2 times. Plus L, suppose it's given as 7 centimeter, you put it as 7. Now don't ask me how did you get the 5 and 7. It's given in the question, okay? R is given as 5, 7 is given as the length. Now volume will be pi r square h divided by 3. You substitute the value for pi, for r. So 3. So this is how you should have your steps. All the formulas should be written first. The substitution should be shown properly into the height. The height is not given here. So let me assume it's 6 centimeter. So into 6 divided by 3. So this is all given in the question, okay? It's not something that you have to find. The height is given as 6, slant height as 7, as radius as 5. You substitute all this, pi r square h by 3, and you get the answer in meter cube. If it was in meter, then meter cube. Fine. So this is how you find the area of the 3D shapes like cylinder and cone. What else do we need to know? Yeah, if I double the height of the cylinder, so this is my cylinder which has a height of h. If I have a new cylinder which has the height 2h, what will happen to the volume? We know that the volume formula is pi r square h. If I double the height, the volume will get doubled. If I make the height half, the volume will become half. If I make the height 3 times, that is tripled, the volume will become 3 times. Why? Because you have one h and one v over here, correct? So whatever happens to the height, the same will happen to the volume. But what about r? You have square of an r over here, okay? So if its radius is doubled, you put it as 2r the whole square. Okay, in place of r you are having double the radius, so 2 2s are 4 r square. In place of r square you have 4r square. So the volume is proportional to r square. If the radius is doubled, the volume will become 4 times. Let's see what happens if the radius is halved. Pi r square h by 3. Let's see for a cone. If the radius is halved, this is the radius, I make it as narrow a cone with the radius half. So volume is proportional to r by 2. In place of r I have r by 2 the whole square. Don't be worried about the proportional sign, okay? Proportional means whatever happens to r, the same thing happens to v. If r increases, v increases. R decreases, v decreases, because both of them are in the numerator, the top portion. You know what numerator is, I hope. Okay, anyway, v proportional to r square by 4 here. So in place of r square here, what do you have now? You have a 1 over 4. So the volume will become 1/4. Do one thing for today. You just have to concentrate on area and volume of a cylinder, of a cone. You need to know what radius is, what do you mean by diameter. If given the diameter, how you half it. Then about this, wherein whatever happens to height, the same happens to the volume. Don't be worried about the radius for today. Okay, then you need to know about the triangle proportionality theorem. Whenever you have a triangle which is cut by a line, and this line and this are parallel, so this is the symbol that we use to show that these two sides are parallel. In that case, the ratio, if it's named as ABCDE, this length AB divided by the length BC is equal to AD divided by DE. Okay, so if it's given as 2 and 4, what will it be if it's x over here? So you write it like this: 2 by 4 equal to 7 by x. Now how do you find x? You multiply the numbers, divide with 2. X is equal to 4 into 7 divide by 2. That's by cross multiplication. Okay, 4 into 7 divide by 2 will give you the answer for x. That's the final answer. And this is known as the triangle proportionality theorem. Okay girls, girls and boys, so have a good day, learn well and do well for the exam. Bye.